So very good morning, everybody. Please take a seat, and I would like to start our conference, which we are almost 4 years waiting for. So, first of all, I would like to invite on the stage my colleagues Mirek, OK2 Alpha Queen, Tonda, OK1 Delta India, Láďa. Here, I stay on the stage. Vašek, OK1 Victor Tango, and there is Honza, OK1 Victor Alpha Oscar. So then I think that we are all. So Franta, OK1 Charlie Alpha, you know him. He's very active. Vašek, OK1 Victor Tango, he was responsible to prepare for you the video streaming and everything about this. Láďa, our technical coordinator, Tonda, OK1 Delta Alpha India, both are from OK1 Kilo India Radio, also very well known the ham radio call. Láďa, OK1 Dix, he was responsible for 144 megahertz, the preparing and everything. He's very active on 2 meter. Mirek, OK2 Alpha Queen, 10 gigahertz, now also 23 centimeter. Alex, OK1 Delta Sugar Tango, come on, go ahead. And Honza, OK1 Victor Alpha Oscar, who was preparing the USB stick with all those presentations and lectures. So this is our team. I would like to thank everybody for his job. It was not easy to keep live everything for years. Trust me that it was seriously tough, and I hope that you will join it now. So thank you very much, guys. So, very shortly about what we have in front of us. So, the first lecture part will be started by Láďa, OK1 Delta Alpha Kilo, and he will present something about the EME history in Czechoslovakia and Czech Republic. Then will follow Al, Kilo to United Yankee Hotel, with his presentation about the offset feeding and existing big dish in the microwave bands. And then will follow Mirek, OK2 Alpha Queen. He will have a presentation about the application of the small offset dishes for EME microwave traffic. Then we have a coffee break. Will follow Paul W1 Golf Hotel Zulu with the design of optimizing Cassegrain antenna systems. Follow up SM6 Foxtrot Hotel Zulu with the presentation about the matching feed in the dish. And before the lunch, I have a presentation about the 24 GHz portable EME. The program of that is a stick in front of the door, so that if you will be passing the door, so that you can see that. Then we have a lunch, and after the lunch we will have a group photo. I would like to ask you to be front of the hotel exactly at 1 hour 15 minutes. 1 hour 15 minutes. I would like to have everybody on the picture. So 1:15. This is from our program. Another thing is that every part of this lecture will be held by our colleagues. The first part of the lectures will be moderated by Al, Kilo 2 United Yankee Hotel. And the second part, up to the lunch, will be moderated by Jan, GM3 Sierra Echo Kilo. So those guys will guide you through this lecture until the lunch. I would like to ask if you have any question about this, and if you want to extend something in this. Nothing. That's perfect. So it looks that we made a good job. Guys, thank you very much again. You are coming. As I say, it was not easy. I know that the time was not tough only for us and also for you, because we spent 2 years under the COVID restrictions and everything about. We were preparing this conference for the right time in 2020, but in 2020 it was a completely closed country here for the traveling and everything. We were expecting to have it in 2021, so we start again to prepare everything. I have to say the big thanks to Franta, OK1 Charlie Alpha, who was preparing your trips and everything about the trips for our ladies in the Kutná Hora, Praha, Plzeň, and all those trips were under the Franta responsible, and he made a big job. Franta, thanks very much. Also, in this tough time, we lost a couple of our friends. As you know, not only COVID, but the biggest, I cannot to say the problem, but the biggest issue is our roses, the edge. And people are passing away. So please stand up for 1 minute. Okay, thank you. We have now prepared a presentation of Vlaďa, OK1 Delta Alpha Kilo, about the EME history in Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia, from really the beginning of the EME in Czech. And I would like also ask Al, K2UH, if he can join us here on the stage and start to moderate our conference. Al, very good morning. Very good morning. Thank you very much. It's yours.
Thank you. I always have a problem pronouncing, so when we say butcher,
Closer.
Zednik's name, so apologies already. The group that has really kept microwave radio going is the OK1KR, and it's really a pleasure. I don't think the reports from these guys are phenomenal. So I'm not going to hold this up, so we got a schedule here, but I'm going to let you go. Okay?
Okay, do you hear me? So a bit tough.
Už to nejednou. Mám to. Není vstup.
Okay, thank you. Well, so we thought, I think, about how to present what happened in the past. And actually, we concluded that some small tale looking for the history sometimes is quite good to remember what happened, and also some consequences which were not, say, accepted 20 years or 30 years before. And looking back, quite interesting, some things which were in fact it would be underlined at the time, so we could be much better or succeed when we did not. So I will not left, right, okay. So how it started in OK Island? That was the time when we were together, Czechoslovakia, and divided in 93 later on. So in the 60s and 70s, say, in the world, the EME activity grown up, and of course we also looked on that, and probably one of the first to hear something where the moon was EVO at that time, 1964, OK2WCG, right, BCG, and well known is as a Z6AXT from South Africa. Unfortunately, he closed all the activity in 2017, as you know. He received MS signals from, at the time, KPZP, pieces from Puerto Rico in 5.9, as we remember that, on all these 7-element diagram. So, after that, also in OK community, VHF, UHF, we were looking for how to join that activity, at least to receive, and trying to transmit as well. A lot of discussion were, and 70 centimeters was chosen at the time as a good band, which can be realizable. We should remember that it was in the time that the iron curtain there. We have nothing, in fact, we're looking behind what could be better and what would gain somewhere and get as a present. The main problem at that time was antenna, of course, and tracking the moon. Today it looks like quite easy what we are talking about, but at that time that was a big challenge for us. We have already at the time quite reasonable, quite good equipment at the time. But what was the trouble? There were no computers, nothing about how to track the moon. Of course, astronomers, radio astronomers were using polar mount and so on. But back when Karel OK1B and W at the time was able, in his job, to calculate the things and so on. So we got, for example, this one graph, position of the moon from the where it is. This one is right one. Oh, to back. Sorry. From the zenith, moving in the time, our time, and so on. So we can find elevation and azimuth for moving the dish almost, of course, manually and so on. Nothing easy. Someone should try today to comparison how it was and what that need to do about. So how it continued? The talks, how and when, in fact, continued some time, but we were lucky that we got some possibilities in Onzeo, near Prague, where 7.5 dish were renowned from the Second World War. It was used for measuring sun noise. And sun noise, of course, is measured during the day. So there was chance to get it borrowed for night, for moon. But it was not as easy as we supposed. On the other side, I found Docent Walíček as the chief of the department, and after some time we get some good relations, in fact, and understanding for this stupidity like ham radio, yes. It could be tolerated for some trials. So VA6 let probably go down. We got chance for November 1975. They announced a test in the time when moon was in Europe during the night time. So we got everything together. How it looks like it's another way. This is the dish I am talking about. So you know, that was just November 1975, how it looked like at that time. So it's some almost 50 years back. And most important is here, you can see this is log periodic peak shape, log periodic antenna for the high bands, and there is log periodic for the low bands, up to down to 100 or even maybe less megahertz. Pardon, microphone should have been older. So backwards, everything prepared on the day, as you can see here. Good group, quite a lot of people were interested how it could work and so on. What was on the other side, 45 meter-ish, 45 dB gain, kilowatt, we allow just 1 dB, LNA focused, so we suppose that should not be principally no trouble. Trouble could be on our side and we have only about some 200 plus watt power. Well, everything looked quite good, but there was one trouble that we were at the time. We were not allowed to change anything on the equipment. So just disconnect the cable to the equipment from the feed, which was connected to the sun noise measuring equipment, and used it for our test during the night. But that probably was the trouble, but we did not realize that at the time, so we were still full of enthusiasm and looking for how to receive and transmit. It was very good. We received over 10 dB VA6 LET almost all the time. So we trying to transmit, no response. All the time, no response. So in fact, we were really disappointed with the result and looking what could be the trouble on our side and so on. But later, recent report about receiving like SWR, and surprising, sometime after several weeks, we got a response from VA6 that, as you can see here, that we were found on the magnetic tape as K1, KFO, just one dot missing. You know the drops on 23, 76 are very short and almost not audible. So they probably say, okay, it's stupidity, cannot be OK station, so must be K1, KFO. So that was something satisfaction for us that it was not so bad probably. So we looked how to improve the station as VA6 LET announced repetition, as you can see here, repetition in May 1976. We finished new new 2 times gaze and wave power amplifier for 70, giving more than 500 watt, maybe we peak up to 800, so quite good job. And most important, I agreed with Docent Wojnicki for the night, he will close his eyes and will tolerate that we remove the original log periodic feeder, and you can see here, and this is new package cross dipoles circle polarization feed for 70. I forgot to mention that the VA6 LET used at the time, probably common for radio astronomers, circle polarization, but we got no information, or maybe we forgot that there is some sense left and so on. So we changed this package, small one here, cross dipoles, with relay to switch polarization. So we were able to look on VA6 LET signals on right-hand polarization and also at left-hand polarization. Quite interesting that was. So you can see here removed of periodic feed. Most important was that this was during the day, so we were allowed to use it even for some noise measurements. So relations established, we were in fact agreed that we are not some stupid guys trying something, but that it's something with sense. For technicians, there are some details. The focus on 0.23, so the dipoles was the only solution. I'm not sure how close we were to the real feed point, but it was quite good. Sun noise was 8.5 dB, and interesting maybe is that we were in apogee, so the maximum distance of the moon, but everything was okay. You can see this arrangement here. What can be interesting is here on the receiving side, MWEC, that is Second World War tank receiver. In fact, somebody knows that, or probably know that tubes like RW12, P2000, so on, well-known things. This was chosen because we used it for EME a lot of years after, as there was bandwidth changeable from 0.3 to 6 kilohertz. So 300 hertz is quite good bandwidth for the time. We used about 700 during the test. So what else may be interesting for somebody who is concerned about the techniques? Quite low elevation during the time and so on. So we got 2 quasars, we repeated, we also at 11 and an hour later, one more again. What I think is quite interesting what you can, sorry if I'm moving the microphone, to compare today, if we use, for example, VKCUM software, so you can calculate some 16 dB of noise, sun noise, we got only 8.5 dB. But if I looked on VKCUM backwards, re-engineered the situation, it was quite reasonable to all the parameters I presented 2 slides back. So that's almost all. After that, after the enthusiasm evaporated and so on, so will become the question how to continue, reasonable, ordinary, and so on. Should mention that at the should mention that at the time, already some arrangements for the sketch was not as easy as today. No internet we got. We have nothing, in fact, just post. And Alvos created, started the EME newsletter. The last page was full of sketches pre-arranged. So if something has to be changed, we send a letter and waiting for response, and so 2 weeks are gone and so on. Nothing easy. But it worked. What continued later? We, as Orkanskaya, were not active at the time, as we were looking for the dish and especially for the place where and how to arrange the dish. But in Slovakia, Jano OKCCTP looked on situation and was very quick and created huge, really huge system, 16 at the time, or something extra, 21 element system. What is for me interesting was welded from steel. So this is, by my understanding, not a good surface for the antenna, especially as regards the attenuation on the surface. But it worked very well, based on some information from France, from well-known F5STFT. He got everything together and started on February 23rd. Immediately, first day, 7 QSO, and continued with full enthusiasm and completed during first March. At the time was fantastic, 27 QSOs, 4 continents and so on, continued. 138 QSOs during 1 year and so on, completed virtual continents and so on. Was very active till 1982. After that he got some troubles as regards political situation local, so he lost the license and so on. So some such things happened at the time. As regards the other OK1 MBS, now last year's OK1 MS, in 1980 already, so that means 40 years ago, on 21st November, made first Orkan QSO, also 2 meter. You can see this antenna, H-time, Diodnan BV, Jano, this one is artificial photo, in fact, huge system really. OK1 MS completed up to over 1,000 initials and so on, still active on 2 meter.
CW initials.
Pardon?
CW initials. It
Your-
is not a digital, it's a CW.
CW, I forgot, yes. O was CW. Not mixed, what is normal today or Digi. So you forgot to underline. So as regards Orkan's career, so we started in that strange way. We got 4 meter dish from old radio relay links. It was arranged for 2 gigahertz, Raffena, DDR, production and so on, but we were happy to have at least something. So another opportunity was SK2 GJ, something like BA6 LED, test for HEB radios on EME. So on 29th November, we arranged in that strange way everything, and trying the equipment was in the car and so on. Some details later, you can see that I don't go to details too much. We got QSL cards from that, everything was okay, surprisingly, even the technique, the dish was quite acceptable regardless the night and so on. Well, some details you can see how the dish was arranged to the